Hello everyone, my name is Chris and this is my channel, The Apprentice Builder Chris. I'm trying to figure out how to make perfect models. Just follow along with my adventures. Hello, welcome to another video of the Tamiya series that I am building for my collection. This time the Mazda Savanna RX-7 with series number 24009. So let's get started with the unboxing of this car. I will show you the building sheet. So it's normally it's a complicated kit, but I bought it second-hand because they are very pricey, this one. And it was a project of somebody else and it was no longer complete. There was a piece that was broken that I have to fix, and then the lighting system is also not complete. So I will put the lights down because you can fix light bulbs and it runs off the battery of the motor, but it's not complete. There's some parts missing from the sprue. I will do see here, I show the part that's missing. I have the part, but I think I'm gonna wait till the windows are in to put it back, because I attempted several times to fix it, but it broke off. So let's start cutting and sorting out the wheels. And the chrome is also very chromy, so I'm gonna weather it down a little bit because it's too bright, it's too toy. So I'm gonna use some panel liner accent color from Tamiya to reduce the shine a little bit. So here I'm cutting everything out of the sprues, and I work with a system of sorting box. So I put everything that has to be a certain color into a compartment. So when I go over to painting the car, I know that I have to do these parts in this color, these parts in another color. And that's also the color of the body. Sometimes when you start painting, you forget the little parts that has to be in the same color of the body. So in this system, it's very easy to get everything sorted and get everything painted like it has to be. So everything is sorted out. So now we start by assembling the little engine. Here you can see it was fixed, but later on in the video you will see the piece is no longer there, because every time it broke off, it broke in the middle, so it's very fragile. So here I start by cleaning up all the parts, just removing the mold lines. I know nobody sees it, but it's for yourself to be proud of that you did it and that everything is like it's supposed to be. And then I do a test fitting, see that everything is right, that nothing has to be tweaked to the model. You see little details. Cleaning up some parts when necessary, fitting them. It's much easier when the car is then painted. All the parts are painted, to do the montage of the car then, if everything is test fitted and cleaned up. So now the next step is the body of the car, the preparing of it. I first start by scribing out the panel lines, making them slightly deeper, because when you start priming the car and you prime 2 or 3 layers, the panel lines tend to disappear. So when you scribe them out, you make them a little bit deeper. They are more prominent and more defined and seeable. You will see it later in the video that they are very, very well lined. So you go over it several times. Do not cut too deep, or you cut through the plastic. So be very careful. And I use a little brush to clean up the excess of plastic that has been removed. So I go over every line, because some lines are barely there, and like that, the window seals, they were not very visible. And then the door seals, and you will see even the gas tank I define. With this video I'm showing how much time it takes to prepare a body thoroughly. People think that modeling is a waste of time, and you can build such a car in a few moments. But if you want to do it right and build it like you want it and to your specifications, it takes time, it takes precision, it takes dedication. So you will see it's a quite lengthy process, but I'm showing from start to end what you have to do to prepare the body for painting. So I hope you don't mind that it takes so long. It's to give an almost real-time feeling of how long it takes. So this is done. Up to the next, the driver. Sorting out the parts. I left a little bit of the sprue to have my clips to put on for painting. So also it's the same process, cleaning up every mold line. I know you don't see the driver, but I know it's clean and it's there, so it's for my personal satisfaction that I do that. You don't have to do it, you don't have to put the driver in. It's your choice, but I do it. It's part of the process. And next up, more cleaning. Removing every piece of debris from the sprue. So when you paint it, it's nearly perfect, and it approaches the real-time car. Again, you don't have to do this. If you don't want to, you just cut it loose and you leave it. But it's nicer to see that it has been cleaned up. More realistic. The next step, cleaning the parts. I use an ultrasonic cleaner with some detergent. And then people, protect yourself. Wear a mouthpiece and gloves and protective clothing, because some paints are toxic, so be safe. So now, next step in the process is blowing out the dust with the spray gun before you start putting down the base coat. The first layer hasn't have to be a very thick one, so a light spray of base coat will do. I use Tamiya's base coat, gray surface primer, and I mix it up with the ratio 1:1 with lacquer thinner on Tamiya. As you can see, it's covering very nice. And then I do all the parts. So every time I blow off the dust and I spray. You will see this every time. Blow off the dust and spray. Blow off the dust, spray. So now it's time to prime the body. As you can see, the part is missing of the window seal. You see, it was broken off, so I didn't put it back. So you start with a light dusting of primer, but as you see, the surface primer from Tamiya has a good coverage. So, but you must beware that you go into every angle and every little corner from the car to the primer gets everywhere. And what you can also see, if you look at the panel lines, they are still prominent and still visible. But I will accentuate them in the further process. And I went for a sort of a retro style look, so the paint has a somewhat faded look, but you will see later in the process also. And then all the parts get their base coat. After approximately 50 minutes of drying time and a light sanding with 1500 grit sanding paper, I put on the second layer of primer. And then again the waiting process, again waiting 15 minutes and then the final coat. Up next I used some masking tape for the coils and sprayed them in a different color. In the latest stage I used some panel liner to give them back some depth. High waste paint, so I used the rest of the paint for the driver. Then next, the first layer of color. I use Tamiya's lacquer paint, LP51 Pure Orange. This same process, a light dusting first. And I do the whole undercarriage. And afterwards I will do the detailing with the brush. Then we go over to the interior. With the interior, it's gonna be a two-tone color. So this is the first color that is going on. Then the next stage, every part that has to be colored in X18. And then here I did mask off the blue color and then did the coil, the springs and the coils in black. And so every part that has to be colored X18 I did. Then I tried something I saw on another video, and that's using satin black to giving every panel line depth and everything that has to be blacked out afterwards. I use black paint. So in the end the result is very subtle, and was quite pleased with the result. Then I masked off the panels for the second color. This is X10 flat brown for the details of the interior of the car. Then I wet sanded the body of the car. So I removed most of the black and I left a little bit because I wanted the orange I'm gonna put on to have a certain aged look, such because it's a car that was built in 1982. You don't have to have so the vibrant colors. It has to be a little bit more depth into the color and a little bit aged. And if you see the end of the video, I was quite pleased with the end result. So I put another very thin layer of base coat over the black markings, and you can see the body lines are somewhat more pronounced. There's a little bit more depth in it. And this is the result of the painting, the two-tone, the dashboard, the interior. As you can see, the driver, positioning of the driver, and then the undercarriage, somewhat weathered, and then the wet sanding with I think it was 1500 grit sanding stick, cleaning up. Then I use my airbrush to dry out everything, going through everything, and then the final color, nice orange, as you can see, first layer. This is a very light coat of paint. Then you have to wait 15 minutes to get the paint tacky enough for the second layer. And this is then the second layer that is going on. A somewhat more paint goes on, but not too heavy, so you don't get the paint that runs. You have to make the coat even and not too wet. Then again, the waiting game, 15 minutes. Third coat goes on, the final layer, somewhat more wet coat. Notice you have to go in every angle and look in corner so you don't forget some parts of the car. So be very aware how you paint. See, go everywhere. So this is the third coat, the final layer that's gone on. Then I put every part of the body that has been painted into a plastic container with a plastic lid, so it is completely sealed from dust, and there I let it dry. A little warning, 2K contains urethane, so protect yourself. So this is the first very light layer that goes on of 2K clear. Then you have to wait a little 50 minutes, then a second coat, somewhat more pronounced. but not too wet. You see, you're getting a little bit gloss, but be careful from runners. Then again, you have to wait 15 minutes. Don't forget the other parts of the car. And then the final layer, wet coat. So be very careful not to get too close with the gun. You see, it's already developing a nice shine on it. And then again, put it in the container and let it dry for 3 to 5 days. After everything is nicely dried, I start the sanding polishing process. I start with a 6000 grit sanding sponge. Go over every part. Don't rub too hard so you don't go burn through the paint, through the clear. On the doorstops there's no problem because they have to be painted black afterwards. Then I go to 8000 grit. That's 8000 grit, this one. Wet sanding. Then 12,000 grit. And then 15,000 grit. And then I use Tamiya's polishing. First the coarse, and you can see I move in one direction. Never make a round direction, always go in one direction. Then define. Again, moving in one direction when you're polishing. Never a circular motion. Then I remove the most of the polishing compound. And then the last compound, the very fine little dots, and the small polishing. Again, in one and the same direction. Just don't forget the underside of the car. Removing from the panel lines every bit of the compound. I use the water I collect from my drier. There's no calcium in it. So that's shiny for you. And then detailing the window trim, everything that has to be blacked out with matte black. So I will let you enjoy. I know I could airbrush them, but I don't like masking everything off. It gives me more satisfaction to use a brush to do the fine detailing. So I use eyeliner brush and a very fine brush that I cut off the hairs, so it's a very short brush. And you see, I went outside of the lines, but when you have polished the car, it doesn't matter, because you will see a technique I use to remove all errors. And as you can see, the technique I used from the blackening of the panel lines, you can see the shadow in the panel lines. And later in the video I will use panel liner to give them an extra accent. Yeah, I also use the eyeliner brush. It has a very fine tip. And don't be afraid to go slightly outside of the lines. You will see a nice technique I also learned from watching videos on the YouTube channel from other builders who are quite more experienced than I am. Now you will see the technique I use. You go and you scribe with a wooden skew in the body lines, and so you can remove the excess of paint by scribing, and you don't damage the paint at all because wood is very soft. So you see the result, how it's changing. This car has no decals, so I blacked out the Mazda sign, and then I will later in the video will put on a silver over it. You see, you can remove every bit of paint and you can correct. That's because the 2K clear coat protects the paint from scratches. And with this technique, you see, you can remove every excess of paint, every spill you have made. I found that quite satisfactory and a nice technique. So I will show you both results. That's before, that's after. Before, after. Nice technique, no? Then the silver detailing. If you put it on a black background, you will see it's more realistic. And here you also see me doing the Mazda sign by giving it little bits of dots. The keyhole, just a little bit. The door locks, the lock from the petrol tank. The indicators. And afterwards I will give them a coat of clear orange. You see how the badges come alive? Just by that little detail of silver you put on. Cleaning up the rest. Then it's time for the indicators to get there. Orange, it's a clear orange I put on. I try to give it a little bit more thickness so it looks like a lens. And you see I use here the makeup brush. It's an eyeliner brush I bought it on the Amazon. And then black panel liner to give somewhat more accents to the body lines, because like I said, it's a car from 1982, so it's somewhat used, this car. It's not, I'm not going for the new look. It's you see some in the body paint also, you see some stains and some grime. And that's what I like about model building. You can have a vision and you follow your vision and you do what you want. You don't have to do what everybody dictates. You have to do what pleases you. And as you can see, it's fun. And it's a learning process. The more you do it, the more skilled you get. So don't be afraid to build cars or other models. Just do what you want. Do what you please. Do what you like. And be proud of your result you get. Don't care about what people mean, what they say. Just do what you like. That's the purpose of building model cars, model building generally. So just enjoy it and try things. And if you fail, just start over. So this is the result. See, very subtle. Then putting in clear parts, not something I like. I don't like putting in clear parts. I put on gloves, but I mess up. You will see in the end result there are some stains on the glass, but yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah, put some pressure on it so it sticks. So here I did the details with a permanent marker. Then here I used the clear red and clear orange, and then the outlines with permanent marker. So I did bother you with the rest of the building. So here you see my proud end result of another man's project that I give it my twist. So I'm very satisfied with the end result. Thank you for watching my video. I hope it was somewhat learnful. I hope it motivates you to start building, and this one is going to the collection number 9, and I hope to see you on the next video. And if you like my videos, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, then you will be notified when I'm uploading the next video. And yes, hope to see you soon. Have a nice day, have a nice evening, have a nice life, and keep building. Bye.
Don't forget, like, subscribe, hit the bell.